welcome to cuForms. My name is Andrew Breeze, and today we're going to look at the account feature within the system. So from your dashboard we can see account. Your main administrator should be the one that has this feature, and within the account system we can see everything that we need to know about ourselves. So here we have the account organization name. This is our template, so we are template organization. The main contact emails. Here we can set a favicon and a header to each forms, so that's quite useful. The admin email address is where emails come from when we send the forms out, and then where the emails come back to when the customer replies. We have here SMTP server, SMTP port. Most of our forms are sent through Gmail, so this shouldn't have a problem, but some users get a bit of a problem with Gmail, and so we can set up a standard user from your own system. So we're not going to bother with this too much at the moment. We use Postcode Lite and recommend Postcode Lite for address lookup. So this is the API key here. When you have an account, you will be given the API key, and this would enter here. The PDF API key we set in for you. That just makes sure that the forms that come back do come back in a PDF format. Clockwork SMS API is to allow you to send SMS text messaging. So we would open an account, and again with the key we would enter the key into here. The account type set up at the moment is a free account, and depending on the service you'll either have a standard, a premium or a free account. The application limits on our free accounts is 100 forms with a monthly allowance, which currently we don't set. The retention period is very much around our data protection policy. So we have two periods. We have a short period and we have a long period. When we're taking personal sensitive data like credit files and credit file information, we redact this information after 3 months. This is where we change it, so if we want to reduce the time that we actually hold that data, we hold it here. After 18 months on the system, then we redact personal data such as names, addresses, etc. We keep in the title, Mr., Mrs. or Master. We keep in the first part of the postcode, and this helps you if you're doing statistical analysis later on. You can track the progress of cuForms through Google Analytics. So from your Google Analytics site, you would just put your tracker ID in here. The next part is all about your organization and what you put in. When we build the forms, we use a variable called client value, and the forms come to you pre-populated with client value in them. So as you complete the client prefix or the client full name, this will then populate onto your forms. This is an important part of the program, and this is the first thing you should do before you start using forms, because the last thing you want to do is send a form out or an application form out where the application form or the agreement says on it client value phone or client value PRA. So just fill this data in here and it allows the forms to populate. The postcode allows you to identify specific areas of your postcode. If you are a residential common bond credit union, then postcodes are quite useful. But if you have more than residential, then I would advise just leaving this empty for the time being. We have accounts with call credit and liaison with call credit. So if you want to use call credit for doing credit checks and identification and verification, then once you have your credentials from call credit, these would be entered in here. Once they're all in, just select update account, and that is you finished. You can come back at any time and change it, but this is probably the first thing you should do once you get into the system. Thanks for listening, and speak to you again.